So this is now my third 2024 Vault knife from Case, which is of course the razor pattern, which is a pattern that I really wanted to like, but the two previous ones that I had gotten were done not very well. The one with the American flag shield was kind of a problem. I could have used that knife if I wanted to, but I haven't because I just didn't care about it after all the um, issues that it had. And then I had the Sawcut Blue Caribbean bone one, I think, that I actually sent into Case for warranty work because it was completely unusable as a pocket knife as far as I was concerned. Um, they sent it back to me like, I don't know, month and a half later, something like that. And it was fixed. You know, the main problem with it was fixed. Um, but that one was in stainless steel. So I didn't really ever end up carrying it or anything. Um, so this is one of Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusives. Their Carbon 1095 Smoky Sunset Valley jigged, something like that. Smoky Mountain Knife Works gets really long-winded with their names sometimes for their exclusives. But yeah, this is a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive Case razor pattern. And the reason why I went ahead and ordered this is because I was really happy with my Stockman in this handle material from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And I didn't really want another Case Barlow. I have quite a few of them. They're not really my thing. I have Barlows I prefer a lot more than the Case Barlow. And I have a gray jig bone one in carbon steel, and I have it's supposed to be saw cut bone from I think 2019, that run. So I have that one, and I have the gray jig bone one. So they're both in carbon steel, and then I have a bunch of stainless Case Barlows. But I really did like the pattern of the razor knife. I just hadn't gotten a good one. So I went ahead and ordered the exclusive here from Smoky Mountain Knife Works of the razor knife because, you know, I figured I could have another Case razor. Maybe this one will be put together better. And I like the handle material that they used for these exclusives. I think it looks really good. I like the fact that there's no shield because Case glues in their shields. So eventually it'll fall out. There's just a stamp in the bolster here, which makes this seem almost kind of Barlow-ish, even though it's not really a Barlow. Although I guess you could make the argument that it is a Barlow because it does have an elongated bolster. It just has a cap on the end of it, which Barlows don't usually have. But anyway, getting into looking at the knife here, I'm not sure. So I did drop this after I got the knife. So I'm not sure if this was from the factory or not, but there's a little mark there on the back spring. I could probably rub that out if I really wanted to. I don't think it's like dirt or anything. I think it's like a mark that's there. So I don't know if that was there from the factory or not, but that is there. Bolsters are a little bit scratched because, you know, they ship these in tissue paper in a cardboard box, like you would have back in, you know, the olden times. You know, people weren't concerned about their pocket knives having scratched bolsters. But some people will throw a fit about that nowadays. So, you know, blade centering is a little off. It's not horrible, certainly. It's good enough for me, as far as I'm concerned. Blade does appear to be straight, which is good. My white natural bone one with the flag shield, the blade was like really off to one side, like bent or bent off to one side pretty much. But yeah, you know, just looking it over, it looks pretty good. And then when you open it, the action on this one's really good. So I was immediately liking that. But yeah, the action on this is really nice on this one. So I'm happy I ordered this because now I have a good Case razor. Yeah. And I keep hoping that Case, like whenever I get a good Case knife, I keep hoping it's like a sign that they're getting better at quality control. But I think it's just that I got a good one. And I know there's people out there that say, well, Case makes the best knives, which I'll disagree with. In their price range, they make pretty good knives. Um, but I certainly wouldn't say they make the best knives. I think Great Eastern Cutlery takes the cake there, obviously. Um, but I still like to buy Case knives because this is the knife that everybody kind of knows. Your grandfather might have carried a Case pocket knife, and you can still buy these at like Ace Hardware and stuff, which is a big reason of why I still do a lot of videos on Case knives because these are a brand that everybody in the knife community is aware of. You can get them at your local Ace Hardware. You can get them, at Cabela's. Although last time I was at Cabela's, their Case knife selection was really small, so I don't know if they're going to stop carrying Case or what's up with that. But yeah, Case is based in Bradford, Pennsylvania. They might be the oldest at this point. I think they are the oldest. Maybe K-Bar's older, but Case is certainly one of the oldest U.S. manufacturers that's been operating the whole time. Um, you know, um, WR Case and Sons. There's a bunch of other Case cutlery stuff. In the past, Case Bros, Case Cutlery, a bunch of different like case companies. But WR Case and WR Case and Sons is the one that stuck around, and it's been around since I don't remember if it was the very late 1800s or the beginning of the 20th century, but they've been around for over 100 years now. And they're, like I said, one of the oldest U.S. pocket knife manufacturers that has kept production going the whole time, pretty much. The only one that I'm questioning might be older is K-Bar. That's because K-Bar started originally as Union Razor, and yeah, they were in Olean, New York. I think K-Bar is still there, and Case, of course, is in Bradford, Pennsylvania. But yeah, not really here for a history lesson, but I do like to support Case. They're a Pennsylvanian company. They're based here in the great state of Pennsylvania, up there in Bradford. I've been to the museum, really cool museum. They're owned by Zippo now, so two American companies. I love Zippos. I like Case pocket knives when they're done well. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm really thrilled with this knife. I think the only problem is I think it had some side to side play, but it's not like horrible. Like there's a real little bit. I'm not even going to be able to show it on camera. That's how little the play is here. Okay, I can kind of show it better there, I think. But anyway, a little bit of blade play. Nothing that would impact use of the knife or anything, but since I'm OCD, I'll probably try to fix that. The good thing about blade play is it's usually pretty easy to fix. You just have to be kind of careful to not ruin the action of the knife, which is the one scary thing about doing that. One thing I will say that I just noticed, this has a heck of a point on it, which Case knives, I need to trim my fingernails, which Case knives are not really known for. A lot of times the point of the blade gets kind of rounded off just because of how they do their manufacturing process and everything. But I do like to see that there's a point on this one. Now, Case calls this the razor pattern. I think, and then they kind of marketed it like you were supposed to shave your face with your pocket knife. But really, I believe that this blade shape here was originally developed for people with one arm after like the Civil War or the First World War. There was like a one arm blade or one arm man blade or something like that. And it was a little more aggressive than this, I think, because you really needed it to grab onto like your pants pocket or whatever you were using to open the knife. But basically the idea is, let me see if I can find something here to demonstrate. Let's just use this. Why not? Some medical tape that's laying here because my girlfriend works in the healthcare field. But anyway, so basically you try to catch this on like the edge of your pocket or the edge of a table or something. And you see it's kind of hard to do because it's not super defined here, but you get it to like half open and then you can kind of just, do that to get it open. And that was the original like one-handed opening pocket knife was your one-arm blade or razor blade as they're called now. But yeah, you can kind of snag it on your pocket and get it open and everything. It's a little bit harder to do on this because it's not quite as defined as I think it would have originally been. But yeah, I believe that's originally what this blade design was originally for. But Case is kind of marketing it as being something for like shaving in the field for some reason. I think the actual historical significance of the blade shape like this is more exciting. The blade edge on this, I might be able to show it. The grind is pretty good. It's pretty equal. Case knives, just in general, always have a really rough grind. Like you're almost always going to have to do, you can kind of see there. It's a very jagged edge. You're almost always going to have to do, oh, there might be a little bit of blade wrap too. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't sharpened it yet, so I don't know if that's just from the factory or if that's some blade wrap. It didn't sound like it has blade wrap. Doesn't sound like it's hitting the back spring. So I'll have to sharpen it and see. Because usually you can kind of tell it makes like a thunk. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's hitting the back spring. The action on this one is incredible. But yeah. Overall, really happy with the knife. The blade edge, which is what I was talking about, needs to be touched up a bit because Case always does kind of a jagged edge. Let me see if I can kind of demonstrate this. Yeah, so that was it running over the tip of my fingernail. You can see it doesn't glide smoothly at all, and it's horrible. That's just a typical Case edge grind. It will cut things. It will. I do have a piece of paper here. Make sure there's no sensitive information on it here. Oh no, this is just something I was using on another video. It will cut things. It's just not a good, smooth, clean edge and stuff. But it'll work for cutting stuff. And honestly, the jagged edge might last a little longer. I don't know. But yeah, overall, really happy with this knife. Like I said, the only real issue is it does have a little bit of blade play side to side, but I should be able to fix that, I think. Other than that, it seems like a really solidly made Case razor knife, which I'm excited about because I didn't have a good example of this really until now. So that makes me happy. And it's in carbon steel, which makes me doubly happy. So at some point, after I'm done with my 30-day carrying the GEC 29 thing, I'm going to carry this a little bit at some point. Because, yeah, for those wondering, I'm probably going to do a video on this, but for those wondering, the 29 here, get a little look at what it looks like here. Carrying it for 30 days, almost 30 days. It's been 25, 26 days, I think. I haven't found much use for the punch, so it's still shiny. But yeah, this is for the Blade Forums Knock the Shine Off 30-day challenge. So I decided I was going to carry the 29 that I bought last year at the GEC Rendezvous for 30 days. But anyway, enough talking about the 29 and my 30 days of carrying it and stuff. The Case razor here in front of me and the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive handle material and everything. This one's done really well. And I'm super happy about that because I really wanted to have a good one of these. I just didn't have a good experience with them so far, so I was worried. But I'm happy to have a good example of the 2024 Vault knife. That being said, I probably won't buy the 2025 Vault knife. The tiny little doctor's knife does not excite me. Case, I want a Daddy Barlow. I want a Daddy Barlow or a case back pocket, or I don't know if you guys are still doing the Panama Trapper, but I want one of them. I want one of them in carbon steel. I want a back pocket in carbon steel, or 154 cm if you're going to do stainless, or S30V because you guys have been doing some of that. But yeah, and at some point I'll probably buy one of those new sod busters because they're cool. But yeah, this kind of turned into a little bit of rambling, like most of my videos do most of the time. But anyway, that's the video on the Case Razor Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive version of the Case Razor. This one's done very well, and I'm very happy with it. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good day.